Hello, everybody. Today, July the 11th, and as always, I'm going to tell the pain story. This pain story had changed a lot of people's life. It shed light into why something happened to our life and how we can create or manifest our true life in a very certain way. It's also come from the wisdom that the ancient wisdom that dated back to like 3,000 years ago, and was made from that were made and modernized by Geshe Michael Roach, one of the very first and rare Westerner that's already got the Geshe from Tibetan monastery. So let's get started, okay, and see what it is about. What is this? It's a pen. What do we use a pen for? To write. Now there's a dog inside the room. I'm gonna wave this in for the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will sniff, lick, or chew the slate. Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, but for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog world, and the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson, both correct. Now, let's imagine that there is a table in front of me. So I'm going to put this thing on the table. And then both the dog and I walk out the room. So inside the room, there'd be no human, no dog. What does this thing become? It is still a pen or a chewing toy. Or it becomes almost nothing. And the ancient wisdom comes as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like Geshe Michael Roach applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build a business with revenue of $250 million a year. He's also able to help several refugees. So what is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? Let's go back to the pen story, okay? So this thing is currently on the table when there is no human, no dog, and there is almost nothing. But then as soon as I go back into the room and I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog come back to the room and the dog look at that, this becomes a chewing toy. When both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, we both look at this at the very same time. What does this thing become? Well, it becomes two things, a pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing, when there's no human, no dog, nothing to interact with, you come back to choose some, we call it the emptiness. But because it has the emptiness, it also has the potential to become anything or anyone depending on what and who are looking at that. And that is our second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have the most potential. Now, I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because this thing is a pen itself, the dog or anything in this entire universe, we have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind. And everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. Now, we all agree that this pen is coming from our mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to pray that this become a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? There are sit inside our mind that the ancient wisdom call as karma. When we see something that sit inside our mind, Baba open up and cover this and made us see it for what had been planted only into our mind. So who planted those seed into our mind? Only you can plant the seed into your mind, and only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways, by our word, by our action, by our thoughts, especially to all the people. So for instance, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to say that I have the pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I give this to my friend, this palm will open up. And both me and my friend will see it and start living work in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has not been planted into my mind. pop up, open up and cover this and made us see it for what had been planted earlier into our mind, which is a pen. And this is how a pen become a pen or anything surround us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today we went over four different lessons. So the first lesson being both correct. So we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. And something I just realized yesterday, but I also want to incorporate it into today, is that before you do it to someone, it's good for you to respect everyone's opinion, to listen to everyone with a compassionate heart. I would strongly recommend you do it for yourself first. Once you respect yourself, once you understand yourself, when you love yourself, that is when you would naturally have that capability, the love and the understanding for other people, and that is when it's become genuine. So remember to take care of yourself first, take care of your inner body first, and then helping other people. And at that time, you'll be a lot more calm, a lot more stable, and the energy level will be a lot better. So that's the first lesson. It's also the key to happiness because as teacher Nyok Han was saying, is that love is the root of happiness. So when you be able to understand, to be able to understand each other, to love each other, then we'll be able to give happiness to other people as well as ourselves. So going to the second lesson is along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. And when we talk about the emptiness is not, emptiness is not nothingness. It's not also not black, not white, not happiness, no, not feeling or anything like that. Emptiness is just what it is, just like who am I? Who I am without anyone interacting with me. It's just the emptiness. This is who I am. You just who you are by yourself when nobody interacting with you. So that's the emptiness. But because we have the emptiness, we also have the potential of becoming anything or anyone depending on what or who is looking at that. And think about that, who. So it's just me, but then I can become anyone or anything. Like to my son and daughter, I am of their mother. And I can be very strict, I can be very loving, I can be, and follow them closely. To my husband, I am a wife. So it's also me right here. But I am also a wife, and I can be, I can be a silly wife, I can be an eating wife, I can be any kind of wife, a loving wife, or just like that. And then with my co-workers, I am their colleague, and we work together, and I hope that I have something good to them. So different people, we have different potential to be anything. So that's the same thing applied to anything or anyone surround us. So being able to see that potential in us, in ourselves first, and then to other people, of other peoples, of other things surrounding us that give us the capability to choose the best or the better part of anything in ourselves so that we can work toward that better part. So that is the lesson about the emptiness and the potential, and also accepting what they are for they truly are, and looking into the best possible best possible potential. And then the third lesson is everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So being 100% responsible to whatever happened to us, we don't blame anyone because in the end, we are the only one who can plant the seed into our mind. So knowing that we are responsible to whatever happened to us, we take full responsibility over to our life, and we also have the capability to change everything into our life. So being seeing the potential of what we want by applying lesson number 2, we take charge of changing our life into that kind of potential that we want it to be. And nobody else will dictate our life. And how? So let's go into the fourth lesson, is how we can create or manifest our dream life. So first, again, you have to know what you want to have in your dream life by applying lesson number 2, seeing the potential, the accepting the emptiness in everyone, but then also seeing the potential of everything. Okay, and then applying the third lesson is, stop planting those things using your word, your action, your thoughts to other people. So if you want to have happiness, then plant the happiness using your word, your action, your thoughts to other people, helping other people to be happier. If you want to have prosperity, then use your word, your action, your thought, helping other people to be happier and to be more prosperous. And then just like that, whatever that you want, whatever the seed that you want to plant it into your life, making sure you use your word, your action, your thought, helping other people to get that seed. And that is the best way. The best way to plant a seed into your mind and to ensure that that seed will pop up to, will one day sprout up, become a tree, and then just giving you their swift result. But then remember one thing about this is that our job is to plant the seed, but we won't be able to tell when that seed is gonna sprout up, when we will be able to harvest that. But by us keep doing that, just doing that with the knowledge that okay, we already planted those seeds, one day we're gonna harvest something from that seed. So that is something we're working for. But don't think that today I'm doing a good deed, so tomorrow definitely I'm gonna receive something good. So karma not working it that way. So karma is that you plan something, you plan a good deed, then that will come back to you. But when we don't, so one of the lessons that I just thought about today is that when Anlu were telling me about how we should anticipate, how we should perceive the unexpected, the unexpected, unwanted event is by knowing that that might be the result of some seed that planted earlier in our life or some other life, and now instead of reacting to it, we should accept it for what it is, and knowing that okay, that seed already sprouted, we already get the result from the seed, so that's good. Now we can let go of the seed and knowing that okay, that bad seed has already been taken care of. Now I can plant the good seed into my life. I'm not going to react to it and plan more bad seed, but instead I'm going to choose a better behavior, better thought, a better word, and then a better behavior, so that I plan a better seed for my future to be better. And that is how we get into the better energy level. It's also how we get into a better future. And then to and to end, the most important thing is that to end that very bad, that very bad karma that we somehow in our past that already planted. And with that, I want to end today's lesson with the thing that hatred will never end hatred. There's only love that can end hatred. So thank you so much for everyone for listening to me today. Thank you, Anlu, for accompanying me in this 3,000-day journey. And if I may share with you the pain story or my lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my dearest family, to my friends, to my co-workers, to my clients, or to my neighbors, or to any living things in this world, any other words, with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye-bye.